We live in a world of comfort, where everything we need is just a click away. But what happens when the unexpected strikes? When the grid goes down or disaster strikes, will you be ready? Out here, in the unforgiving wilderness, survival isn't a game. It's a test of your preparedness, your resilience, and your will to live. Trust me, I've stared danger in the face more times than I can count, and the difference between making it out alive and, well, let's just say it's always better to be prepared. Over the next few chapters, we're going to delve deep into the essential gear that could mean the difference between life and death in a survival situation. We'll explore the must-have items for your survival kit, from the basics to advanced tools that will give you an edge when the stakes are high. So buckle up, get ready to learn, and remember, survival isn't just about luck, it's about being prepared. Let's dive in. Out in the wild, clean drinking water is more valuable than gold. It's the lifeblood that keeps you going, and dehydration can cripple you faster than almost any other threat. Trust me, I've been there, feeling my energy sapped by the scorching sun, my throat parched and begging for a single drop. That's why water purification tablets are non-negotiable in your survival kit. These little lifesavers are compact, lightweight, and can turn even the murkiest puddle into a source of safe drinking water. Imagine finding yourself miles from civilization, a raging river between you and safety. With water purification tablets, you can collect water, pop in a tablet, wait a bit, and voila, you've got yourself a life-saving drink. Remember, never underestimate the importance of hydration. It's not just about quenching your thirst, it's about keeping your body functioning, your mind sharp, and your chances of survival high. In the unforgiving wilderness, resourcefulness is key. Every ounce counts, and that's where a good multi-tool becomes your best friend. It's like having a toolbox shrunk down and stashed right in your pocket. Imagine this, you're trekking through dense undergrowth, and your path is blocked by a fallen tree. With your trusty multi-tool, you've got a saw to cut through smaller branches, pliers to help move debris, and maybe even a small axe blade for tackling larger obstacles. Or picture yourself needing to make a quick repair on your gear. A ripped strap on your backpack, a loose screw on your compass, a broken fishing rod. A multi-tool can handle it all. It's not just about fixing things either. Need to open a can of food? Cut some cordage? Sharpen a stick for a makeshift spear? Your multi-tool is up for the task. Out here, in the unforgiving wilderness, when the sun dips below the horizon, darkness descends rapidly. It's like a predator, cloaking everything in its inky embrace. Trust me, you don't want to be caught off guard. That's why a reliable flashlight is an absolute non-negotiable in your survival kit. A good flashlight cuts through the darkness, illuminating your immediate surroundings and allowing you to navigate treacherous terrain, identify potential dangers, and signal for help if needed. Imagine trying to find your way through dense undergrowth, tend to an injury, or even just find your bearings in the pitch black without one. It's a recipe for disaster. Remember, a flashlight is only as good as its batteries. Always, and I mean always, carry extra batteries in a waterproof container. The last thing you want is for your lifeline to go out when you need it most, leaving you stranded in the dark. We never know what challenges await us in the wild, so being prepared for every eventuality is key. And believe me, a flashlight is not just a convenience, it's a potential lifesaver. We've talked about light, now let's talk about sound. Out here, your voice can only carry so far, especially when you're battling exhaustion, hunger, or injury. That's where an emergency whistle becomes an absolute game changer. A whistle is your lifeline to the outside world, a compact, lightweight tool capable of sending a piercing shriek that can be heard over long distances and through dense vegetation. It's far more effective than shouting, which can quickly drain your energy and leave you dehydrated. Imagine this. You've taken a tumble, you're disoriented, and darkness is closing in. Your voice is hoarse from shouting, but help seems nowhere in sight. But then you remember your whistle. With a few sharp blasts, you send a signal that can be heard for miles, increasing your chances of being found dramatically. Never underestimate the power of a simple whistle. It's a small piece of equipment with the potential to make a huge difference in a survival situation. We all know the wilderness can be beautiful, but it can also be brutally unforgiving, especially when it comes to the elements. One minute you're basking in the sunshine, the next you're battling freezing temperatures, biting winds, or torrential rain. That's why an emergency blanket or sleeping bag is essential for maintaining your core body temperature and protecting you from hypothermia. Think of it as your own personal cocoon, a thin but mighty barrier between you and the elements. These blankets are typically made from mylar, a lightweight, waterproof, and windproof material that reflects your body heat back to you, keeping you warm even in the most challenging conditions. Now, I've used emergency blankets in all sorts of situations, from sheltering from a sudden downpour to creating a makeshift windbreak. They're incredibly versatile and packed down small, taking up hardly any space in your pack. Trust me, you'll be grateful for its warmth when the temperature plummets and the wind howls. Remember, hypothermia is a serious threat in the wild, and it can set in quickly. Having an emergency blanket or sleeping bag could mean the difference between a comfortable night and a dangerous fight for survival. We're out here in the wild, and the weather's taken a turn for the worse. The temperature's plummeting, and we need to warm up fast. That's when a reliable fire starter becomes your best friend. Forget rubbing two sticks together, lads. In a real pinch, you need something that guarantees a spark. There are loads of options out there, from magnesium rods to ferrocerium strikers. Me? I always pack a good fire starter. It's compact, lightweight, and throws off a shower of sparks even in damp conditions. Remember, hypothermia can set in quickly, and a roaring fire is your first line of defense against the cold. Now, starting a fire's only half the battle. You need to know how to build it properly. Start with a tinder nest of dry grass, bark shavings, or cotton wool. Then gradually build up a structure of kindling and larger logs. A well-built fire will provide warmth, light, and a way to cook food. But remember, fire is a powerful force. Always clear the area around your fire site and never leave it unattended. Safety first, always. Out here, injuries can happen. A twisted ankle, a nasty gash, even a run-in with some unfriendly flora or fauna. That's why a well-stocked first aid kit is non-negotiable. It's your mobile medical unit, your lifeline in a wilderness emergency. Now, your kit doesn't need to resemble a field hospital. Keep it compact, lightweight, and water-resistant. Essential items include antiseptic wipes, various sized bandages, gauze pads, medical tape, pain relievers, and antihistamines. Don't forget blister treatment. Long treks can wreak havoc on your feet, and a bad blister can stop you dead in your tracks. Pack moleskin or blister plasters to protect those tootsies. And a basic sewing kit can be surprisingly useful for field repairs, both on your gear and yourself. Remember, a first aid kit is only as good as your knowledge. Familiarize yourself with basic first aid techniques like treating cuts, sprains, and burns. A little knowledge can go a long way when you're miles from help. Your backpack is your lifeline in the wild. It's your mobile base camp, carrying everything you need to survive and thrive in challenging environments. Choosing the right backpack is paramount, lads. It's an investment in your safety and success. First and foremost, durability is key. We're talking ripstop nylon or canvas, reinforced seams, and heavy-duty zippers. It needs to withstand the harshest conditions, from thorny undergrowth to jagged rocks. Trust me, the last thing you want is your pack failing miles from civilization. Next up, water resistance. Whether it's a sudden downpour or a river crossing, keeping your gear dry is essential. Look for a pack with a waterproof lining or a built-in rain cover. A soggy sleeping bag is a recipe for a miserable night. Size and fit are crucial. You don't want a pack that's too big and cumbersome, but it needs to be large enough to carry all your essentials. Look for adjustable straps and a hip belt to distribute weight evenly and prevent strain. Remember, comfort equals endurance in the wilderness. We've talked about the importance of staying hydrated, but sometimes finding clean water in the wild can be a real challenge. That's where a portable water filter becomes your best friend. Remember, stagnant water can be a breeding ground for bacteria and parasites that can knock you out faster than a right hook from a grizzly. We need to be smarter than that. Look for flowing water sources like streams or rivers. These are generally safer than standing water, but even then, don't let your guard down. We're going to treat all water in the wild as suspect. It's always better to be safe than sorry in survival situations. Now, I've got my trusty portable water filter here. It's lightweight, easy to pack, and it saved my hide countless times. You wouldn't believe some of the dodgy water I've had to drink out there. But thanks to this little fella, I've lived to tell the tale. Each filter is designed differently, so make sure you know how yours works before heading out. Trust me, you don't want to be figuring this out when you're parched and the sun's beating down on you. Getting lost in the wild is a serious situation. Disorientation can lead to panic, and that's when mistakes happen. That's why having a reliable way to navigate is crucial for any adventurer. Now, we've got two main contenders in our corner, the trusty compass and the modern GPS unit. The compass, a timeless tool, relies on the Earth's magnetic field to point you north. It's simple, reliable, and doesn't need batteries. Perfect for those who like to keep things old school. But remember, you'll need to know basic map reading skills to make the most of it. On the other hand, we've got the GPS unit. This high-tech gizmo uses satellites to pinpoint your location anywhere on the planet. It's incredibly accurate and can even guide you back to your starting point or a designated safe zone. But here's the catch: it needs batteries. So, which one's right for you? Well, it all comes down to personal preference and the kind of adventure you're embarking on. We've covered a lot of ground, from water purification to first aid, fire starting to navigation. And while each piece of gear plays a crucial role, the most important tool you have is your knowledge and your will to survive. Remember, preparation is key. Pack smart, know your gear, and always anticipate the unexpected. The wilderness can be a challenging and unforgiving environment, but with the right mindset and the right tools, you can overcome any obstacle. Always respect the power of nature, stay humble, and never underestimate the importance of being prepared. Stay prepared, because when it comes to survival situations, readiness is key.